All right, welcome to another Thursday night show. We're kind of changing things up still. Every week we're gonna go live on Thursday and play a game, but we're doing a couple things before the game. Uh, we have a couple different segments, and we're gonna talk about those today. We're gonna play a game called Wavelength, and we're gonna talk about how you can come on the Board Game with Education. I guess we call it the Board Game with Education Thursday live stream. It's kind of a mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
But we'd love to hear what games you have been playing recently. So if you're watching, please share with us. Let us know what games you've been playing recently, because that's something we're going to share tonight. So I'd love to hear from our Board Game with Education community. But Rodger, what's new with you as far as games and education go?
Well, I've still been, working on the scenes, creating resources for our games. I think I've got most of the stuff that we have, at least some of the things that we started with on the website. I have resources created for all of that stuff. I've been working, trying to get that stuff finished. Trying to, reach out to some people to, get some ideas and maybe, hey, would you be willing to use this in your classroom? And, that kind of thing. And obviously I've ran into some people too, like through the job that I have right now, after retiring. I've been working at a board game store. So I've been trying to pitch our site a little bit, while I'm there. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening. So just kind of plugging along.
Awesome. Yeah, I know the board game store you're working at. It's kind of been doing okay with the pandemic, not like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not crazy. I mean, we're doing a little bit of stuff, but we're really controlling, the amount of people we have in there, and masks and stuff like that. We're getting some people in there. I think they're just cabin fever kind of thing, but in that, trying to stay following things, because we don't want the city, state, whatever, coming in and going, hey, you got too many people in there, this isn't going to work. So we've been really strict about that. But the great thing, everybody's been really good about it. And, we haven't had loads of people in there, but more people are trickling in. So it's just kind of good to see them. We're offering some mild events and things like that where people can kind of come in. But once again, it's really restrictive. So,
Right. Cool. Well, I'm excited to hear what games you've been playing recently, whether it's online or in person. We're still kind of in lockdown here. Have we played any games in person, Grace and I? No, I don't think so. Most of our gaming has been virtually. We also don't have a game group in Los Angeles. So if you're in Los Angeles, reach out to us. We're in desperate need of a game group.
Right.
But yeah, let us know what you've been playing if you're watching. Watching the replay or watching us live, let us know. And we're going to move into our community segment, our trends. I think I have some music. Yeah. And last week we had our community cardboard and magnificent meeples segment, where we highlighted the Able Gamers Foundation, a charity group that helps all gamers access games through different devices. So maybe someone who needs is able to play a game with their eyes, they can use eye motion to play. But yeah, we talked about that last week. And this week I want to share a way that you can interact with the Board Game with Education community. And every Thursday we do our live stream, but we also do something else on Thursdays. And I usually post this earlier in the day, and it's a way to play a game on our Facebook group in the comments. So I'm going to share my screen here. I have it up here. I'm not logged in because I'm not sure who's going to message me and what they're going to say. So I'm using a incognito tab, but so I can't see the comments. Maybe I might switch over really quickly. Let's see. Where did it go? Let's just log in. I'm going to post in the comments where you can play this game. And we're playing Snake Oil. I think I got to create a new window. And the game of Snake Oil, if you're not familiar, it's a pretty fun game. The box kind of looks like this. And essentially, your snake oil salesman, which comes from a thing that was very prominent in Western culture in the United States. I don't know a lot about the history, but essentially, a salesman would create a recipe for like beautiful skin, but it's just snake oil. It was a placebo. So you're trying to come up with an idea based on some words you get. So you get a hand of cards. I think you get 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 here, so I made it a little bit easier for us. And we're combining these cards to come up with something to sell to a bank robber. So the cards are always different. You might have a customer like a cheerleader, a snowman, Santa Claus. You might have a lot of different customers that you're trying to sell to, and your cards are changing. So I did one, and we have some comments here. Love to see, like, Kirsten said it's such a fun game. She said that Hasbro picked it back up, so, or maybe she's still looking. I think I used that picture from somewhere. And here, Zednek said one of the best games ever. Really great for language learning too. And this is my sell is Mr. Bank Robber. You do not want to miss this special offer on our mosquito cannon. You know, everyone hates those pesky mosquitoes. Just think, next time you're robbing a bank, you can just use a mosquito to get what you want at the bank. No one will mess with the mosquito cannon. So it's like an improv game. And I've used it in a language corner before, but this is a way that you can interact with the Board Game with Education community. You need to join our Facebook group. I'll put that in the comments too. See if I can figure out.
Yeah.
Accidentally, I didn't finish. I don't know why it's typing it out.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/groups/learning with games is our Facebook group. Or you can search game-based learning, gamification, and games and education to join our Facebook group. And you can play the game if you're not already in our Facebook group. Maybe you're just a follower of our page. But our Facebook group's pretty great too, because there's a lot of awesome resources and information in there. I think Rodger's still working on his answer, so you'll have to go check it and check Rodger's answer.
Yeah.
I'm excited to look at it later. All right. Cool. So then our next segment is, I don't have music for it because we don't have a guest today. But our next segment is a call to guests. So if you are interested in joining us on a Thursday night and being a guest on the show, we've changed our structure and we want to welcome guests either in education and board games, anything related to games and education, or just if you are curious and you want to be a guest on the show and talk about your experience with board games. We really want to bridge that gap between like the hobby of board games and people that are not familiar with what is out there in the hobby. Maybe I can ask you, Rodger, when did you first get into the board game hobby?
When did I first get into the board game hobby?
Yeah.
For me, it was like middle school.
Okay.
Just the group of friends that I hung around. I mean, these games are already kind of out there, but I remember kind of being exposed to some of that stuff when we started playing. And we were a little more into the kind of the fantasy stuff like that. And I think kind of some of the first thing I did, it was a little Steve Jackson game. I still have a copy of one of the thing, but it was called Wizard.
Okay.
And it was just a little, like you made a wizard and you put him out on this arena and you just fought each other and stuff. And maybe to us, that was like, wow, that was really cool. I mean, I played games like, growing up as a kid, but I was always looking for, something a little more interesting. And I know a friend of mine and I used to play, and I still have it as well. It was a first game, I think, that really, well, maybe not the first, but one of them uses, actually a real board game, but with a digital component to it. If that was digital at the time, it was just the little, red LED screen kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
The thing called Sub Hunt. and you program some stuff, and then what you did is you used a crayon, and it came with a board you could draw on. It was erasable, and you were moving your ships around trying to find this submarine and sink it, and it was shooting back at you and stuff. And I don't know how many hours we got lost in that. I still have it. It's a game called Codename Sector.
Oh, wow.
I think it was made by Milton Bradley. And I still actually have my copy of it. Ran on like a 9-volt battery. Mine still works. I still have it. I don't have the box anymore, but I still have the game. I kept it for some weird reason.
Wow.
So I think it kind of started somewhere in there, and then it just kind of progressed. And we were into the SBI Avalon Hill games with the these maps with like thousands of these little cardboard chits and all that stuff. And it's just like, and I still have a bunch of that stuff, but I can't get rid of it. It just has so much nostalgia, but I just kind of seriously wonder if there's some of it I'm ever really going to play again.
Right. Yeah. So how do you introduce, because you work at a board game store now, do you get people that come in that are not very familiar with the hobby? How do you introduce them into the hobby?
Well, I think it's more, asking them like, hey, what have you played? And you can kind of go from there. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that's really normal, but, a lot of it is, well, I played Clue, I played Sorry, I played Monopoly, I played, a lot of this mass market stuff. And then, we can go and start showing them, things that are kind of like that or whatever. I think most of the people probably come in are not totally, unknown to it. I think it's gotten out there to where a lot of people are a little more familiar. Like, they'll go, well, you guys, they're maybe familiar with like Ticket to Ride or, Settlers or Catan, which used to be called Settlers of Catan. It's called Catan now. And, we'll get asked. I think some of it too tends to be some party games, that people, might be familiar with. I mean, we don't care, but I know like we've been asked for like Secret Hitler and
I think
stuff like that. So
I think party games are good at helping spread the idea of the hobby, because so many people can play that game and they're quick, and you're over at a friend's house and they bring out this party game you haven't heard, and I think that's how I got into the hobby more strongly, I guess. Was playing some party games like Two Rooms and a Boom was a big one for me. It's
right.
Amazing. I love this game.
I haven't played that one actually.
It's so fun. I mean, Grace would say I overdid it, but I always loved to play Two Rooms and a Boom. Cool. Speaking of games though, we're gonna go into our next segment, which is what games have you been playing in 30 seconds or less? Before I do that, I do want to say one more time, if you're interested in being a guest on the show, please do reach out to us. I left our email in the comments. So what we're going to do, what have you been playing in 30 seconds or less? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Doesn't matter. I don't care. Doesn't matter. All right.
I'll go first since I have one, and I'm going to try this.
Okay.
30 seconds is kind of a long time.
Right.
Maybe we should have done shorter. So a game I've been playing is called King's Dilemma, and it's based on, I would say, Game of Thrones-esque campaign game where it's played over several games. You don't play it just one time. You play it, I think, at least 15 times, I think is what it says. It could be longer. It could be a little bit less than that. But you're trying to decide what you should be doing or what you should be telling the king to do based on different dilemmas in your kingdom. A lot of fun to play virtually, too, and I highly recommend it. Wow, I did it.
Yeah, you did it. I think that's going to be much harder for me. I'm so wordy with my stuff. So we'll see what we can do.
Here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Go. Okay, I just recently got in Viscounts of the West Kingdom, which is the third in that series of the West Kingdom games. It's a deck builder kind of worker placement where you're moving a guy around a castle, and you're competing with other players, tons of decisions to make. I think mechanically it's the most interesting game in the series. And then there's another thing where you can kind of connect them all together. So I've really been enjoying that after one play.
Ooh, good. You got that after one play, snuck it in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like Architects of the West Kingdom, but that's the only one I've played in the series. It's a Renegade Game Studio, and is it? I feel like there's also the Viking game too. Is that
Yeah,
related to
there's
the same
there's
series?
all the there's the Viking theme one. So that was Shipwrights
Oh, okay.
of the
Different
North
themes.
Sea, and then Raiders of the North Sea, which is probably the best known, I think, of those. And then there was another one called Explorers of the North Sea.
North Sea. Okay. So there's
So
3
yeah,
of the Viking themes and then 3 of the like
3 of the ones
middle
where they kind of the same time frame, but they just
medieval
moved
time.
it on to mainland Europe,
Okay.
and kind of did that. But same artist, same iconography in all of them. So that's the nice thing. I mean, if you played a couple of them, it's kind of easy to see it's easy to kind of pick up at least the the icons and the stuff that he does for all of them. They're consistent completely across the board. They may do different things, but you're used to certain ones saying, well, this one's always victory points or whatever.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. I like the architects.
That's a good one too. Yeah, I played them all now. So
awesome. Well, let's play a game. I'm gonna bring
Okay.
Grace on here. I think she's back behind the scenes, ready to go. And we're gonna play Wavelength. So this is the first time. I want to give a shout out to Dave Eng, who is going to be on the podcast on Monday. He'll be on the
Cool.
podcast as a co-host with our regular guest Brian McDonald, or not regular guest, one-time guest Brian McDonald. And we talk about abstract games versus theme-based games for learning. But Dave did a webinar recently about 4 games you can play remotely with, I don't know, either in class or with students. And he kind of talked about how you can target learning outcomes with them. So I want to give a shout out to him because I've done Wavelength remotely, I think on a stream here, but we didn't use the site. So I'm happy that there's a site available to us. I'm going to bring Grace on. So welcome, Grace.
Hey, Grace.
Hello.
Welcome back to another game. So I'm going to share my screen. So this is the website. I'm going to post the comments below there. If you go to universityxp.com too, you'll find Dave's webinar, and he actually has a couple links to Wavelength. I don't have the other one on top of my head, but if you are curious, you can reach out to me too. And this is based on this board game. This is the board game that we're gonna play. You can get it. Looks like on Amazon. It's really easy to play, really easy to get out and just put away whenever you want. Like each round is literally like 2 or 3 minutes if you want it to be. They could go a little bit longer if you have a lot of people uncertain of what to guess, but that doesn't tend to happen. So I think what I do here, I was trying to play around with this website, and I would suggest checking it out before doing it. I checked it out, but I'm still a little confused. So we're gonna kind of work through this with other people. Yeah, I tried to do it myself and I was a little lost, but so I'm starting a game and we're gonna do cooperative. So you guys, you see that clue? I don't want you to see that clue, so maybe we got to restart. So that's what happens. I'm gonna bring it over here.
Okay.
Wow. I create the room and I got my clue, and I have a scale. So I'm not going to tell you the scale yet because I'm going to put in my clue. Well, I guess I can tell you scale. So one end looks like a person. The other end doesn't look like a person. So if you've never played this game, I have a grid. I think it'll be easier to explain after I choose my clue. This is kind of tough because I'm on the spot and I'm trying to think of something without wasting too much time. So I'm gonna go with looks like a person or doesn't look like a person. I would say, okay. Oh no. All right, now you guys, I'm sending you the game link in the private chat here. I put it in the comments in the private chat. So if you're watching, you can join us and you can mess around with Rodger and Grace. It'll let you slide the scale right or left, and they won't know who's doing it. So you can try to do that. And this is the link that they're joining. So they have this slider. I don't know why it's not letting. Is it letting you guys slide it?
I'm getting
Yes.
a little hand.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go. So I don't know why I can't slide it. Probably because I have it open on a different browser window. So you guys are
And
guessing.
you gave the clue, so you can't guess.
Yeah, but this is a different window. So I'm wondering if
Oh,
it's just
okay.
because it's the same browser. It
Okay.
won't let me. That's probably it. Yeah, definitely it.
A robot.
So if you're watching, you can just click that link and mess around with Grace and Rodger. But yeah, my clue. So essentially, how to play and what they're trying to do. My clue is a robot, and they have to determine where on this scale would that clue fall. So maybe if I wanted to say looks like a person, my clue and it was over here, I would say human, right? I don't think that's a bad giveaway. Doesn't look like a person. I don't know. I might say TV or something. So what do you guys think?
So we just have to slide it. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, you're trying to slide it to where you think a robot would fall on this scale. Would a robot look more like a person or would it look less like a person, and what range?
And we both have to decide where we want it to sit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we have to.
working cooperatively. So you'll determine like, okay, I agree with you, Grace. No way, Grace. A robot is not a person.
But the clue is looks like, and I feel like
Yeah.
if you were going for something that didn't look like, it wouldn't be. I don't know. I think of the movies. I forgot the name with Will Smith. That kind of looks like robots are taking over, and they look like humans. So I'm okay with this guess.
Yep, I'm gonna go
Kind
with
of in
that.
the middle, but more towards the person. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, then one of you has to click submit the guess for players.
Okay.
And you were
Ooh.
close. So this is what I saw. I had to give a clue based on where this was. So I was thinking, well, robot. So you guys were close. And then I think
we score no points.
no points. And then someone should be able to have the clue now. I think. Do one of you guys have something that says?
I do.
There we go. Waiting for Grace to provide a clue. So again, her little target thing, Rodger and I cannot see that. And she has to give us a clue from a scale of fantasy to sci-fi. And she's nervous.
Yeah, I feel like I should be the last one getting this. Okay.
So, Lord of the Rings. So now Rodger and I have to determine, is Lord of the Rings more sci-fi or is it more fantasy? What would you say, Rodger?
I think that's way more fantasy than it is sci-fi.
Yeah, I would say like almost there, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Let's look at Grace's face. Let's see.
Just try to cheating.
Oh, I moved it too far.
Yeah.
But we got 2 points there. It's close enough for 2 points. Draw next card. So now, oh no. Wait, you guys don't see, you do see that.
But you haven't put a clue, so it's fine.
You haven't put a clue. It says waiting for you to
but
provide
we see the target. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Can't you just put something random and we'll skip it in the next round?
Random. You guys can put it over there. And how do I do that? Maybe I have to stop sharing for a second. That would probably be good. But I didn't know I was up. So Grace's turn.
Yeah.
Where's
I think
Rodger?
I think it's because I was the one that pressed
Submit.
to grab.
Oh, right. Yep. So maybe I need to do that, and it'll let me do it.
Okay. I'm gonna not share the screen while you type the clue for the next one. Oh, you just did a round. Do you want to press submit guess for the players, Rodger?
Okay.
Oh, that would have been a fun one, I think, for Rodger.
Yep. Yep, that would have been. So what is it? Draw next spectrum card?
Yeah, click that. Yeah.
Oh,
Now
okay.
Rodger. So now Rodger's given a sad song or happy song spectrum. You know, it'd be fun. So on the podcast on Monday, we talk about abstract games and abstract games falling on a spectrum. A cool clue would be abstract board games and non-abstract board games. Got 3 cards remaining too.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to think of what abstract board games.
All
I
right.
can't even, not are, but I can't even think of one
Examples?
right now. Yeah.
Halloween, it would be one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Taiwan. Chess. Chess is one. Go. You got to listen to the podcast. You have a lot of examples. Monday. Comes out on Monday. One comes out tomorrow, too. So Rodger's hard and
Oh gosh, this is. I don't know what to do. I'm hoping I'm doing. Does it have to be one word clue?
Yes, but it's okay. I think if it lets you do more than one word, I would say no. Actually, yeah, you can do more than one word. Yeah, this game you can do a phrase, but it can't be like 2 ideas. It can't be like Santa
because
Claus
I put
on
Lord
the
of the
Sun.
Rings.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, yeah. When you were young. Oh man, I'm gonna say there, but I don't know if it's the same song I'm thinking of because there might be a couple songs titled "When You Were Young." There probably are. But when you were young sounds like whatever song it is, it sounds like kind of like it would be happy because you're like thinking back, but then it'd also be a little
Like
bit sad
nostalgic and
because it's nostalgic. Yeah. Well, so maybe a little bit lower than
I would go a little further.
this way?
No, the other way.
This way. Oh yeah, you can do it too. So you submit the guess because I don't want to give away my clues anymore. Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
You were on the right track to me. When you were young, what song?
It's by Adele.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was thinking The Killers, but I knew there
Yeah.
had to have been other songs titled.
Yeah.
Do you want to draw the next spectrum card, Grace?
Okay.
Nice
Scary animal to nice animal. Alligator? That'll probably be pretty scary. I guess it depends on who's answering. If you're one of the animal person. A cat. Oh. I would say that falls a little scary, but not like...
Yeah.
But if you're looking on the spectrum of all animals out there in the world,
Right.
a cat would be very not scary.
Yeah, I think it's more on the nice side, personally.
Where would you pull it? You put it where you think.
I'm gonna go there, but I don't know.
I can agree with that.
Okay.
Do you want to submit it?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Oh, 2 point.
Cat. A cat.
You
So
wanna
is it
do-
me? Draw next.
draw the next one. Yeah, just because I don't want to give away my clue to everyone. We got useless invention to useful invention.
This reminds me of my art class in college where we had to come up with useless inventions like as an art project, and it was really hard to do. Yeah, it was. There's a Japanese term for it, and apparently a lot of artists just create useless inventions.
What was your useless invention?
I don't even remember at this point.
Okay.
Man.
It was just so useless. It was
Yeah, I
unimportant.
guess. Oh, back scratcher. Oh my goodness. I feel like some people really love back scratchers, but I never use them.
Yeah, I don't use them either. But they sell enough of them for it.
Right? Like I think some people like love them, and I don't know why.
I don't know about love them, but
No, I'm thinking of some people that it's like have to have one. They have to. This is maybe what I would
So,
say.
yeah, I'm okay with that. I feel like it
Okay.
might. Okay, yeah, just
I'm gonna submit it.
that.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
close. All right, last card, Grace. We gotta get a bullseye here. Oh man,
Derivative and an original. Uh-huh.
that's hard.
That is hard. Hmm.
Something, a copy or an original?
I know, but where the target is, it's kind of hard to come up with something.
Again, we're playing Wavelength for anyone that doesn't know the game. While Grace thinks, it's like if you just search Wavelength on Google, or if you go to wavelength.zone, it looks like you can pick it up on Amazon. This is what the actual Wavelength looks like in the game. It doesn't look like this. It looks pretty cool. You can actually play the game inside the box, which is really cool. You just pick up the box. Oh, I don't want to buy it. I want a picture. They've done the Mind. Have you played the Mind, Rodger?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a pretty clever one. Monikers is really good too. It's a good Monikers is good. Well, it's good for mastering vocabulary for language learning, but I think it's good for other stuff too, other learning. Still waiting for Grace's clue. Here.
Some thinking music.
Some fast thinking music.
I don't think you guys will get this.
Contemporary art. Yeah, that's tough. Because contemporary art is probably based off older art, but it's also like very different. If I'm on the right track, I hope.
Yep. I think we're going more this way. That's just me, but
I would go one more.
Okay. I'm good with that.
I hope I don't move it too far. Oh no.
I was going the complete opposite.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I kind of see where you're going there.
It was hard not to think of things that were a copy, so I was trying to.
Right.
What would be original? The Declaration of Independence.
But that would be like way far over there. Well, I don't.
Maybe because it's founded on like.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, that is hard though.
That was a hard one.
That's hard.
Yeah.
All right, so that is our stream tonight. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay, again, we'd love to know what games you're playing. Rodger and Grace, thank you for joining as always here every week. Really, thank you. Yep. And we'll see everyone again next week.
Okay, everybody. Later.
Bye.